Congratulations. Execute the approved and funded projects. A detail, an example is what I nicknamed E Street Plan B. The adoption of Plan B released the commitment of $1 million of REIT money. Think about that for a moment when you're looking at all of your other capital needs. And probably most important, it represented some level of agreement shown by a majority vote on a major project and then pretty much moving along. Longer term, the first three items are really right here in 2010. Longer term priority items: define a community vision and organization's mission. The very first retreat, that was mentioned as a real need to get a defining mission and clear goal. You can and probably should spend a good deal of quality time redefining and recapturing that, because if you get that right, then all the little decisions get easier, in my experience. Another huge project, if you wish to entertain this, is to re-examine in a comprehensive way your compensation policies. There are a whole series of interrelated compensation policies, and you might ask yourself questions about where do you stand in the labor market, where do you want to stand in the labor market, what are the current policies, and do they reflect where you want to stand in that, importantly, in that labor market. Examine the partnership opportunities that potentially lie ahead. You heard about a specific example and seemed to consent or in fact with some enthusiasm endorse what Joanne brought to you this evening. I try to give you a little bit of the background of my comments on the elected leadership. A fragment of that is attendance at somewhere upwards of 1,200 city council meetings. So I think I've seen quite a number of council meetings and a good deal of differing deportment at council meetings. And so that's the basis of the observations. Summary observations: the mayor's enthusiastic, energetic, and very action-oriented. And I'm going to suggest that the fact that Mr. Scott has qualities that supplement and are additive to the mayor's predilections is a good thing.
Temporary.
I think that you inevitably, as a council, will sort through your widely differing views of the wider world. I really believe that, and I think that will be good. Recommendations: work with the mayor on defining a vision for the city, without sacrificing your principles or your views of the wider world. Concentrate on the matters that pertain directly to Washougal. That's where the citizens, I believe, will bring you the greatest, that's where you will bring the citizens the greatest sense of satisfaction, the most achievement. The items will not be probably the most exciting from meeting to meeting, but in the long run, I think it will matter the most. I try to cite a few examples of projects that are likely achievable and very local in their nature. I cite a few examples of councils elsewhere in unnamed places who have chosen to take strong views and make statements about things that aren't necessarily municipal matters. I heard of a wonderful example from here in our state, big unnamed city that lies on the western shores of Lake Washington. Took the chance to advise some cities that are on the Snake River that they, Snake River City, should see to it that the dams were done away with. And at least one of the cities reportedly wrote back and said, we'll really think about that when you get rid of the Ballard locks. And somewhere buried in that was a wonderful irony and point. I think that you are working on sorting through and clarifying the roles of council, the executive branch, and the staff, and I urge you to continue to work on that. It's not a one-dose experience, and there are lots of good resources that have good experience, and one of them, and I'm especially addressing this to council members, as you have contact with other council members, your peers from around the state, people inevitably exchange stories and experiences, and you'll find, of course, that none of us are the first to go through this, that there are lots of similarities of experience, and in some ways I think that is reassuring. And I'm especially thinking of people who are relatively new to this. I think, Mr. Schumacher, I think it was wonderful that you chose to go to the AWC training in your very first weeks in the position.
I was in good company.
Update the city's whistleblower policy. You have done that. Streamline some procedures. Now, I know at the beginning the consent agenda was a pretty touchy thing, and the mayor wanted to be kind of the maximum and go to the maximum in transparency. I think as time goes along, you will find that that is a wonderful tool, and any one of you, anytime, for any reason, can pull something off the consent agenda, and that should be good guarantee of transparency, and it will help you focus. If I may be a little personal with you all, especially as council members, I believe that you are all inherently polite, courteous, nice people, and that will help take some of the edge off some of your differences on policy things. The staff. I had quite a lot of exposure, hour to hour, day to day, with the staff for 7 weeks. And within this, I wanted to record the names of those who I was around, where I saw and overheard or took part in customer contact daily activities. And I saw a lot of professional contact. I saw no untoward incidents. I saw a couple of incidents of people dealing with very couple of angry customers who didn't necessarily at the time show really good manners. I saw with the department heads, I saw relatively little departmental competitiveness, or and to say that positively, I saw good staff cooperation and an eagerness, a real eagerness from the first day for reassurance and for direction. And I take that as a professional manager, I take that all as very good. Another thing I noted with several staffers is as they recognize the general fund problems, they reach deeper into the organization to mobilize the people who work for them in solving the problem, as opposed to denying that there is a problem or feeling